Assalamu alaikum, Sajjano te Mitro. It's been around a decade back when I appeared on social media, particularly Facebook, on the kind suggestion of Nazir Kaur Saab. Nazir Kaur Saab was introduced to me by Shafqat Tanveer Mirza Saab, whose fabulous writings pertaining to Punjab and Punjabi are nothing short of an asset for the whole Punjabi nation, but also for all the struggling nations around us. So, those were the days when Bukti Sahib was targeted, and after his martyrdom, Punjabis faced the repercussions in Balochistan. So, I finally, deduced that it is in fact the sheer negligence or ignorance of my own Punjabis based in Punjab whose criminal uh, attitude towards own mother tongue and motherland has put all the genuine national entities in the hot water, whether those were Bengalis or in the recent decade are Baloch. The whole ignorance have been capitalized by the UPITNs, I mean the racist infiltrators, Urdu speaking infiltrators who replaced Punjabi with Urdu after the annexation of Punjab in 1849 under the command of British. They fought against Punjabis and they colonized Punjab, and after the emergence of Pakistan they used Punjab and Punjabi for subjugating all the constituent entities of this federation. So Punjabi's shoulder had always been used due to the reason which I mentioned earlier. After my rescue from those turbulent region of Balochistan, when I was transferred to Islamabad on deputation basis, I decided to start a campaign for the introduction of mother tongue in Punjab, because to me the sole solution for bringing the awareness among Punjabis was to or is to introduce their mother tongue as the integral part of compulsory part of curricula. Luckily, after the 18th Amendment, all the other provinces introduced mother tongues. Even Punjabi was given an option as a compulsory subject in Balochistan, where Punjabis were targeted. So I lodged cases in Supreme Court. Still my case is in pipeline against Punjab government for the contempt of court, because it has not been accepting to introduce Punjabi like other provinces in accordance with the need of the constitution and the Supreme Court and Lahore High Court orders in this regard. At the same time, I realized that whatever work for the awareness of Punjabis I have been doing on social media, though that produced a little bit result, because earlier than the previous decade, if we see before the social media era, voiceless nations didn't have any access to the print and state controlled print and electronic media. Particularly Punjabis were not present at that time, nor they are present now in the state narrative, because state assumes that if Punjabis are recognized and they are equally given the honorable status with the other national entities of this federation, it might cause uh, damage to the unity of the federation. This is a sort of misconception which has intentionally been propagated among the masses in Punjab, and they are made afraid that if they raise their voice for their fundamental national rights on the pattern of other nationalities, it would damage the Pakistani Federation and Islam. And particularly Urdu, which has been painted as a holy status, holy language by the state, that is equally protected, and that's why successive Punjab governments have defied the Supreme Court and Lahore High Court decisions in this regard. So there is a need to launch a full-fledged mass campaign for seeking their fundamental human, Islamic and constitution right in Punjab. Because I feel that if Punjabis wake up, the common masses, the working classes, if they wake up, they get aware about their fundamental right, they start giving respect to their motherland and the mother tongue, it would naturally bring enlightenment and awareness in their minds for the equal rights of their neighboring Baloch, Sindhi and Pashtun nations. Otherwise, they would suffer with the same dogmas which state has inculcated in their mind through the state machinery, whether it is propaganda through the electronic and print media or the defunct educational system. Now the time has approached that if this mass campaign is successfully launched, it would bring a revolutionary change in this federation. The exploiters on the hem of affairs are strictly against it, and they would never allow such mass campaign to take the roots. That's why even on social media, you could witness that there are multiple proxy IDs or even groups or contingents which try to sabotage any campaign for the awareness of Punjabis. That's why I separately launched a WhatsApp group where I embarked upon teaching or educating Punjabi youth about their Punjabiyat. I have been, trying my level best to educate my youth so that it may bring, harmony with other nations. We we equally support Baloch, Sindhi, and Pashtun rights. And let me remind you that when I started my Facebook ID, its name was comprising of uh, all these four nations, which the which are present, which are mentioned in the 1940s Pakistan resolution as well. But later on, due to the very groups, very state sponsored or other anti nations, genuine nations groups, they definitely reported it, and I had to change that name with my own one. Anyhow, the most important thing which I intend to mention right now is that Punjab and Punjabi or Punjabis, they they are attacked from all around by different enemies. uh, Particularly, those people who are on the who are in the government, I mean the nexus of UPITians and the fifth columnists. They 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 are trying to undermine the Punjabi nationalism since the very first day. And you know very well that they launched a proxy campaign in this regard by labeling some of the um, Punjabi dialects with the separate uh, language. And the in the next phase, they were having an intention to carve out some provinces out of Punjab so that Punjabi nationhood may die by fighting with each other. The very formula was used in the Indian Punjab or in some Indian states where the nationalist movements were emerged. So Indian establishment used the ethnic, linguistic, and even religious sentiments to divide those movements. So Pakistani Federation is doing it is doing the same, it is following the same strategy, because UPITians are the architects of the whole Pakistani notion. And they have already realized that if Punjabi nationhood emerges, they will have no room to exploit and de facto rule these native nations. That's why they have already targeted Punjab. And the enemies I have mentioned, that they uh, patronage the Baloch, Pashtun and Sindhi, ethnic Afghan or Pashtun, Pathan and Sindhi, particularly Baloch Sindhi hybrid, people in the South Punjab for running their campaign. And those Baloch Sindhi Pashtun, ethnic Baloch Sindhi Pashtun settlers in Punjab, they are leading this campaign at the behest of these UPITians. So that is an open enemy, what I am describing here. So these two enemies, I mean the patronagers on the hem of affair and their mercenaries in terms of Pathan, Sindhi, Baloch settlers in Punjab. These two are the open enemies of Punjab and Punjabiyat. And they are not only the enemies of Punjab and Punjabiyat, but they are equally the enemies of the unity of Sindh, Balochistan, because their actual target is the unity of Sindh and unity of Balochistan. The reason is obvious that Sindhi nationalism and Baloch nationalism can't be abated in spite of making numerous efforts by the state. The more they launch operations against Sindhis and Baloch, the more it retaliates with the much more force. And particularly in this age of communication, it is quite difficult for any state to suppress the genuine national struggles. So this formula of creating states within state is being experimented for the very first time in the vulnerable Pakistani Punjab, so that if Pakistani Punjab is, I mean the Punjabis, the common Punjabis, if they are divided and the other nations they don't let themselves be divided, so through major majority, undefeatable majority, they could be ruled in our sort of one unit in which the ulterior motives of the rulers could be fulfilled, whether whether those motives are in terms of building Kalabagh Dam or the settlements in the Gwadar or the whole coastal belt of Balochistan. Because with the settlement of Gwadar, a new Karachi would emerge, and definitely due to the least populated province of Balochistan, Baloch would sooner or later turn into Red Indians, and a new Karachi would definitely bring not only governor but also a chief minister of Balochistan in terms of another Ishratul Ibad sort of guy within 2 or 3 decades. So this is the whole, I mean, plan, and nothing is difficult to understand. There isn't any rocket science involved. The plan is very clear. Punjab, if is divided, and Punjab's ruling elite, who is in completely, on the same page with UPITians, you could see any pseudo. I use the word pseudo because these are not political parties. These are the these are the mafias of different families who play according to the orchestra of army establishment. So they are working on this script, that if and they want to divide Punjab, and with this divided and instead of dividing, instead of devolving capital or authority to the masses from center to the provinces, and provinces to the local regions, in the genuine national entities of this federation, they are looking forward to divide masses like cattle for their own fiefdoms. So through those fiefdoms, in the representation of those fiefdoms as separate entities in the federation, they could easily beat the majority of other three provinces. So they could very easily fulfill their agendas, and whatever agendas I have already mentioned one or two of them, and there are multiple in the list. This is the one case. In another case, if they get successful in dividing Punjab, and on the same pattern they get successful in dividing Sindh and Balochistan, then the whole story would come to an end, because this is what the UPITians want. They want to crush the genuine national identities, as they tried to crush the genuine national identity of Bengalis by using the shoulder of Punjabis and Pathans. So they get successful in dividing these genuine national entities, so definitely their dreams would accomplish, and they could rule the whole federation arbitrarily, and whatever they want they could no one would be there to stop them. So in both cases the victims would not only be Punjabis but also be Sindhis and Baloch particularly, and Pashtuns as well to some extent. So far Pashtuns are the most benevolent entity that I would discuss in detail in some other talk, but so far whatever I have mentioned here, that whole scenario is there, which I have been mentioning time and again in my writings as well. So for this purpose we know very well that Punjabis have got two open enemies. The very first enemy is the state, the people on the hem of affairs of state. Second are their mercenaries. But the most dangerous enemy is present within Punjabis, and that enemy I always term as fifth columnist. I mean the enemies within Punjabis. That enemy is always supposed to be the most dangerous enemy within any nation, within any community, because that enemy appears in the mask of the very community and stabs it from its back. If you go through the research papers or different theses in the pre-47 era, the left in Punjab, it sowed the communal hatred seeds in the land of five rivers. In Punjab, they were the people who not only created, even later on widened the gulf between the Muslims and non-Muslims, so that the notion of two nation theory may get successful. So in that All India Muslim League was the beneficiary out of it. And I have already spoken a lot and written a lot over it. One could go through my notes and talk as well, how they worked for the Britishers, and they paved the way for the All India Muslim League in Punjab, and the blood of 2 million Punjabis who were massacred in this divide, it is on the hands of these comrades. Now the very comrades are playing another game right now in the Pakistani Punjab. On the one hand, they are uh, playing the role of mercenaries to use the Khalistan movement to use the nostalgic sentiments in the central Punjab for the support of Khalistan movement. Khalistan movement, everybody knows that it has already caused so much harm to the eastern Punjab, and it not only divided that eastern Punjab into three parts, but also the the purity of Punjabi, the actual Punjabi, had been turned into Hindabi, and the with the stamp of Punjabi. In fact, Hindabi is being taught over there. Besides that, multiple other damages have been done, like the demography of Punjab, which has now been turned into a Punjabi, have been changed, and Biharis and UPITians have been settled over there, and the whole Punjabi talent, it was drained after the 80s operation, and it left the Punjab, and it is now settled in the Canada, America and Europe, where they are living in the fool's paradise for creating some sort of Khalistan, because the movement was launched on the basis of religious sentiment. It was not a nationalist movement, it was rather a religious movement, and it definitely had to lead to some catastrophic sort of end, which I have already presented before you. So these comrades in Pakistani Punjab, on the one hand, they are supporting again. I mean, the very people, these criminals, they first caused the division of Punjab in 47. Now they are again showing the dreams of united Punjab, and the dreams of Khalistan, and these sort of activities they are doing. And global Punjabis, they fall prey to their propaganda, and they in fact get they further stigmatize the Punjabiyat, I mean Punjabi nationalism, in the common masses of Punjab, because the common masses of Punjab are having a religious approach. They can't tolerate that a common person in Punjab, they can't even dare to think that they would now live with the non-Muslim Punjabis, particularly Sikhs or Hindus, or their kids would marry with them, and a society would emerge where there won't be any difference between Muslims and non-Muslims. So they whenever they listen about Punjabiyat of that type, where such unity would prevail, so definitely they, and rightly they go against it, and they dislike it. So one could very easily feel a repugnance among those Punjabis, among those masses, against this sort of sentiments. So these crooks, I mean these socialist or communist sort of people who are now introduce themselves as very secular and progressive people, they are playing this game on the one hand, that they are supporting the Khalistani movement, and on the other hand, in the same breath, they support the division of Pakistani Punjab. See the hilarious, I mean policy of these people, the contradictory policy of these people. On the one hand, they are going to sport, they are going to they pledge with common Punjabis that a greater Punjab would emerge with the unity of Eastern Punjab. And on the second, in the same breath, on the other hand, they support the division of Lehenda Punjab, which is actually the classical Punjab, the actual Punjab, which has been eulogized by the Punjabi writers from Baba Farid, Sultan Bahu, Mian Muhammad Bakhsh, Waris Shah, Bulle Shah, Khwaja Farid, every classic writer, they eulogize this land of five rivers. These five rivers, I mean, two rivers were dried up. One was dried up, and the second one was misunderstood, and it was supposed to be a separate river. I'm talking about the Hakra, which is a sort of seasonal river, and the seventh one was the tributary of Satluj, Beas, which is called Beas. But the five actual rivers which are mentioned in the ancient scripts, those are Jhelum, Ravi, Chana, Satluj, and the fifth one is the Indus, which is Darya Punjab, because it mostly flows in the land of Punjab, whether it is the present Punjab or the trespassed Punjab in the KPK region. I mean the occupied Punjab, which was discarded from the Punjab from its original body by the Britishers in 1901, and it was handed over to Pathans as a gift so that they may defend Britishers against any attack by the Russians in the USSR time. So these five rivers, I mean, they are there. So this Punjab, these crooks, these I would rather say pimps, who are pimping their mother, the mother which they even her language they utilize for their vested interests. They have made numerous YouTube channels, and they are running different social media pages and earning capital from them. At the same time, they support the Khalistan movement, and they talk about the unity of Greater Punjab with the Eastern Punjab, and they show the dreams of Greater Punjab. So they earn money from the Sikh diaspora in Canada, America, and Europe, and they are given so much protocol, and money is showered over them, and they just they get vested, they fulfill their vested interest from by using their mother language. And mother, simply you could call it, they pimp their mother by in this way, and at the same time they criminally are supporting the division of Punjab into 2 or 3 more parts, the classical Punjab, in which the land of classical ancient 5 rivers, they are going to divide it, and there are not only individuals but also cartels are there, mafias are there, who are openly supporting the division of Punjab by painting the by speaking the same script of UPITians presented by the Pakistani state. So common Punjabis, they are on the horns of dilemma. They can't easily understand where to go, whether to support the Khalistan movement or Suraikistan movement. So what they have to do is to understand the enemies within, because these enemies within are this much dangerous that they appear in in the same Punjabi mask, and they betray you in such a deceitful way that you dig your own grave being a Punjabi. Because when you support the Khalistan movement, you have to confront in within your home by your own people, and they ask you, they question you, that are you going to unite with the non-Muslims, Sikhs and Hindus? Are you in senses? Are you mad? What the hell you are going to do? Can you imagine that we would again unite with those people who murdered us, murdered our elders, or raped our daughters? I'm not saying that their questions are valid, or I mean, I'm telling you the ground reality. So on the one hand, your Punjabiyat, the demand of your rights is maligned by these people on for the sake of state, because state doesn't want Punjabi to be uplifted, or it raise its voice, or the Punjabi nationalism may take its roots in Pakistan, because masses they see towards Punjabiyat with suspicion. The paranoia among Punjabis, it further consolidates by supporting such people in terms of Khalistan, and by aligning themselves with the Sikhs. I mean, when I say Sikh means those who support Khalistan, who never talk about the nationalism in Indian Punjab. So here they further malign the Punjabiyat, and they fulfill the state's desires, and at the same time they work for the state by supporting the division of Pakistani Punjab, or by supporting the Suraikistan, or further 2 or 3 provinces. Even they, if want to state desire to carve out 300 provinces, they could, because a single a command could make the whole assembly to give extension within few minutes for the chief of the army staff. So what could else not be expected? Everything could happen in this land of pures. So this is the whole story. The division of Punjab is in fact the division of Pakistan, because it would emerge another sort of one unit within Pakistani Federation, and one unit wouldn't be acceptable for the Baloch or Sindhis or even Pathans. Or in the other case, it would divide the Sindhis and Baloch as well, who so far are not trying to understand, and they are assuming they have been showed a carrot by the state that, oh, no problem, you would get more land from Punjab, from southern, and you could annex it in a greater sense sort of project. On the other hand, Balochs have been given some other those Baloch who are who want to live survive within the Pakistani Federation, who want to excel in the Pakistani Federation. So they have been given some sort of other dreams, but ultimately it would be catastrophic for the unity of Pakistan, because Sindhis and Baloch would never accept the hegemony of one entity in terms of one unit, or nor they would accept their own divisions on any basis, whether it is ethnic, linguistic, or administrative, so-called administrative basis. So another civil war would start, and this federation would be pushed into the balkanization sort of, even worse than balkanization sort of scenario. So my humble appeal is before the common Punjabis that they must not, I mean those Punjabis who are appeared on the social media, who daily sit on Facebook and struggle for their motherland and mother tongue, and the other Punjabis as well, who are not realizing the sensitivity of this situation. They must try to go through whatever I have shared with you, and I won't say that just trust in me, trust my words. I have just given you a food for thought. You just consult the references. There are scores of references available on net. You may consult the research papers. You could find each and everything. You could visit the different regions. You could see the realities. You could visit the pages of these crooks which I have mentioned over here. So these rascals, they have been running these pages for their own petty vested interest at the expense of everybody. I mean, the ones who could sell their mother, they can do anything. You could see their pages. These people who claim themselves to be Punjabis and the leaders of Punjabiyat, their pages are followed by the same Khalistani sort of sikhras, and they are not looking, they are not thinking that there is a need to bring harmony within the Lehenda Punjab, Pakistani Punjab, and the trespass Punjab in KPK, where Punjabis could be, the Punjabis could be brought to closer through the writers and the artists of those regions. These peoples, majority of them, they are semi-literates. Some of them are very good. Because their education background, they have been passed out from the very elite educational institutions, and they could deceive people by using their silver tongue. But God has given you the wisdom as well. You should go through their pages, because being a Pakistani, being a patriotic person, it is the duty of every Punjabi that he must be a Punjabi first. If a Baloch, Sindhi and Pashtun, a true Baloch, true Sindhi and true Pashtun can't be, they're being Pashtun or Sindhi or Baloch can't be against Islam or can't be against Pakistan. So how could the Punjabiyat be against Islam or Pakistan? A true Punjabi would be that Punjabi who would only look into the Lehenda Punjab, because it is the classic Punjab, who would try to bring Punjabis closer together, because Punjabis are quite alien to each other within Pakistani Punjab. Multiple pages run with different names, with the different dialects and different regions. Everybody assumes themselves a different entity, because state has worked in such a way that it has created identity crisis within Punjab. People are not attached with language, with their language and with their land. They have been misled by the state, and they try to and state has stigmatized this their true Punjabi identity, and they try to seek asylum in some other identity by getting purged from the genuine Punjabi identity. So the true Punjabi would be that Punjabi who would try to bring the Punjabi masses closer together within Pakistani Punjab and the occupied Punjab in KPK region, and through their writers and their artists. And finally, when the Punjabiyat and people would get together, and this group Punjabiyat gets empowered, it becomes this much powerful that it could demand the equal rights with the other three nationalities like Pathan, Sindhis and Baloch. It would definitely lead to the true concept or the spirit of 1940s Pakistan resolution, in which which is in accordance with the mother nature's principle of diversity, and that diversity actually brings the unity. The true unity could only be brought by supporting the diversity. So this natural diversity could only be brought in this federation by consolidating the unity among Lehenda Punjabis, Pakistani Punjabis, by completely negating or completely avoiding the or looking beyond the Wagah, because that is a past. We could learn from past, but we should avoid to live in it. So my dear Punjabis, try to understand, and I have explained each and everything in detail. I would upload some more talks on short talks. This is a bit or even I would say rather a lengthy talk I have shared with you. I am going to share it with you. So I would definitely speak up on different issues, multiple issues linked with the Punjabi nationalism and our relations with the other our neighboring Sindhi, Baloch and Pashtun nations. And I would of course speak up about the Punjabi nationalism in relation with the Pakistani constitution, Islam, humanity and other aspects of it I would try to highlight. But in this talk I have tried to make you aware about the three enemies. I would once again point them out and conclude my talk that two enemies I have mentioned. That the very first enemy is the ones who are on the hem of affairs of state. Those are the nexus of UPITians, who are the architect of the whole script for the subjugation of the genuine nations of this federation. And their partners in their bed are the fifth columnists among Pashtun, Sindhi, Baloch and particularly Punjabis. Now I am talking about Punjabis, so definitely the landlords and the capitalists of Punjab, whose elders had been the mercenaries of the Mughals and Britishers, and they were bribed and given the huge tracts of lands in Punjab. So they became the landlords. So their progeny has been ruling us since the very first day. So they are our first enemy. Second is their mercenaries, settlers, Pathan Sindhi Baloch, hybrid Pathan Baloch Sindhi settlers, who are based in the southern Punjab, and the vast majority of them have been busy in the anti-human activity, because by using the linguistic and ethnic sentiment, by stirring up the ethnic and linguistic sentiment, and they are fully backed by the other groups under the umbrella of Pakistani establishment. So they are busy in this seditious activities against Punjab, and no one could dare, no Punjabi who has been living in Sindh or Balochistan for 5 to 7 generations, they can't even dare to think to divide Sindh or Balochistan. So just imagine the very Sindhis, Balochs and Pashtuns who are settled in Punjab, they are appearing in some other mask of Saraikiyat, and they are trying to capture a major region of Punjab by assuming it a piece of cake. So this is all due to the ignorance. So these two major enemies are there, but these two major enemies are the open enemies. And the worst enemy, the most lethal enemy is within us, and that enemy is the fifth columnist Punjabi, who appears in the mask of Punjabi. He speaks Punjabi, but he is playing the role of a very loyal mercenary for the establishment, and that role I have explained in detail here. So I would welcome your questions. I am not an orator, nor I am a very good speaker, and definitely my this English is not up to the mark, but whatever I could do, I have tried my level best to explain or elaborate each and everything. And due to the any reason, if someone someone can't understand anything, he may ask, or she may ask me in the question section anything. You are welcome to ask. Feel free to ask anything about whatever I have explained here. Thank you.